Bob. Hey, Brazil. Extra bit on there. I'm not sure what that is. All right. I have to stop early today. I have a funeral to go to, sadly. So I'm only going to go to 9:45, so just 45 minutes. That's why I'm starting on time. And we're gonna talk more about that 16th note thing I talked about last week. I found some. It's weird. This one I'm gonna go ahead and crop this one better. Let me see if I can delete this. Well, I don't know what the heck is on there. When I screenshotted it, I must have not. I mean, these literally, this. It's funny. Oh, it's not on. It's not. Weird. Okay, it's not on the file itself, so I don't know what that was. We'll still try it again. Boop. Weird. Something OBS is adding right there. I don't know what that is. Anyway, all this represents, and I'm going to zoom this up so you can see it, is just all the 16th notes, and you notice those are X's. And you can see the 1E enda, 2E enda, 3E enda, 4E enda. That's how you count 16th notes. And so I'm using the E9 chord that we talked about last week because it's a great chord that's really easy to mute. By mute, I mean leave your fingers there, but don't push the strings down. You're literally covering up all the strings. So you get this dead sound, which you want because it's going to come in real handy. Like for this group, most of the notes are dead. Bam, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of the 16 have pitch or have a chord, but the other 11 beats, 11 16th notes are just this. So it's not a bad thing to just do that. In fact, you do that with a wah-wah and it sounds amazing. I don't have a wah set up, otherwise I'd show you. Morning. I have some good friends from Brazil. So yeah, and you can, even with just the scratches, you know, and I got a super duper basic drum groove here. It's 70 BPM, beats per minute. But even just the scratches you can accent. Without squeezing the chord. And you can mix it all up and do all sorts of different patterns. You can copy maybe the accents that the drummer's doing on the hi-hat. You could copy an accent, maybe something the bass player's doing, the keyboard player, percussionist, or whatever. You can even accent maybe the melody. You could have the melody show up in your pattern. But the idea is to just have a really solid. And typically when we're playing the 16th note groove, 1E enda, 2E enda, 3E enda, 4E enda, we're going down on 1, up on the E, down on the and, up on the So it's 1E enda, 2E enda, 3E enda, 4 that's going to come into play here, being aware of the beats when you play this, where 1, 2, 3, 4 lay, and then also where all the other notes lay. And the E's and the U's are considered syncopated notes. Particularly, I would say a rhythm pattern is syncopated in the 16th note in this arena here if you play an E or an without a hit before it. All right? Now, that's my definition of syncopation. So if you, in this case, if you hit an upstroke without hitting a down, and I'm talking about a pitch when you squeeze. So we're gonna model that in a minute. I hope you can get this. Hopefully, this is something I would teach. I taught hundreds of times face to face. So it's really easy for me to see if you're getting it. Okay, but the first thing you want to do is just get that and have that E9 chord made. And again, if the E9 chord's up here, you can see it right there. You can hit the open E string, but basically it's the James Brown chord, right? That's kind of what the horn section does. Oh, I feel good. Okay, so I always think of it as kind of a James Brown chord. He didn't invent it. It's been around since before Bach. Oh no, Holly, that's awesome. Holly gets love from me. I don't know if she watches these later or not, but I totally understand when people fall. I mean, the thing about being an administrator like Bruce and Bob and Holly and Dennis is that when you're not here, it's a little bit more obvious than just your average person. Same as like John, when he doesn't show up, it's like, well, we miss him, but it's not as obvious. And at some point, you're all going to, each one of you are going to drop off and stop watching me. So I get that. I mean, you may be faithful to the end. I don't know. But, yep. And Bruce, you're traveling. So you're doing this on the road. And Bruce sent me another article. I think it was Guitar World or something. And it's funny because Bruce, the first time you sent me an article, you sent it from the Apple News app, and I don't pay for Apple News. So it opened up the Apple News app and said I had to pay, $15 a month or something. I'm not going to do that. So, but then this time, for some reason, it opened up the article. So I'm not sure what the difference was. But it was talking about all the best free guitar online programs. And the one I'm going to create, I'm not making free. You're going to have to, if you want it, you're going to have to buy it. I mean, I'm going to give some away, so that you might get lucky there. But, Colt, oh, fun. So I'll make this small. All right, I'm going to make this is, oops, dang it. There we go. Grab this, make it small. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to grab this, and there's two grooves here, and there's a repeat sign. So the idea here is just to do the first one at first. The second one's a syncopated one. In fact, that gives me a good opportunity to show the example of what I'm talking about. You see the strokes there, those are when we're going to squeeze the chord like that. And this I would consider this first one here, okay? And you see the repeat sign. So that little sign there means repeat, go back to here. And normally that would just mean repeat once, but I would repeat this until you nail it and then move on. And this is a lot more difficult than this. You're literally just moving that hit over 1/16th note. This is the same groove. In fact, if you hit play in the middle of a bar, you wouldn't know necessarily where one was. You would probably assume that the E of the beat was the one, all right? Because you wouldn't have context. But with a drum groove, we can have that. But let's see if we can get this. So what we're gonna do is we get that E9 chord, and you can do it just a bar, you can do whatever. You can just kind of put your hand like this. If you just kind of put your hand like this, you're gonna create an E9 chord. I'm at the 7th fret here, and I'm getting this note here with my first finger is the 6th fret. So there's a little bit of maybe an arch here, so that this allows the the fourth string note to ring out. But it's not critical. I mean, probably 99% of the time I'm muting that string anyway. I'm hitting this note and these three. You don't necessarily miss that G sharp if it's not there. The only thing is you might not know if it's a major or minor chord. And you can also play E9 like this, where I'm playing first finger on the sixth fret of the fourth string, second finger on the seventh fret of the fifth string, third finger on the seventh fret of the third string, and pinky on the seventh fret of the second string. And then I'm kind of muting, or you could lay your pinky down and get that top E string at the seventh fret if you want. But the idea here is that we need to have a chord that easily facilitates dead notes, okay? Because like I said, right here, we've got 4 hits and then we have 12 dead notes. So the dead notes, the scratches, the X's are far more dominant than the actual pitched notes, okay? So here's what this one sounds like. Again, we're gonna go to this one. We're gonna try. We'll see if you get it. I don't know. I want you to give me a thumbs up if you get it. And we're gonna not do it with the beat right now. I'm just gonna do. Well, let me see what the beat is. I can even slow down the beat a little bit. And one of the things is to kind of relax your wrist. Don't be rigid. Okay, maybe. Here's one little trick that I do. I always forget to tell people. I'm holding the pick very loose when I'm playing rhythm. When I'm playing rhythm, I use a very heavy pick. This is 1.5 millimeter. It's pretty thick. Would be heavier than a Fender Heavy. A Fender Heavy, I think, is 1 millimeter. So this is about 50% heavier than that. But when I'm playing rhythm, I'm holding it loose. So it kind of, and I always would do this thing. Okay, take the pick out of my hand, and they'd be able to pull it out easy. But when I'm soloing, I'm choking down on the pick, and there's very little exposed, and I'm holding it very tight, and I tell the student, try to pull it out, and they can't. But when I'm playing rhythm, I expose more of the pick, so I'm holding more of the back of the pick, and I'm holding it very loosely. And I'm kind of doing a tripod thing where I've got 2 fingers and a thumb on it. I do drop picks, that happens. I actually kind of tend to do something like this, where I'm touching the edge of the pick with my first finger, the thumb's getting the whole side of the pick, and then the first finger's down here. So that helps keep it from slipping out, having the finger on the edge there, okay? But if you hold it too tight, it ends up being like a fish hook, you know, so when you go down or up, particularly up, you could snag a string, and it really could impede your progress or your rhythm and your consistency. And so I'm turning from the wrist. The hand doesn't do much. The wrist is doing the work. Okay, now then what we want to do is we want to squeeze on 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then release immediately. This should be very slow. I don't even know what tempo. If this is probably half that almost, like 40 beats per minute. It's pretty slow. Probably won't ever play a song 40 beats per minute. Okay, practice that. Speed it up. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. You can even do that if you want to practice counting in 16th notes. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. And out of context, we really don't know where 1 is. It could be 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 1 E and a 2 E, 1 E and a 2 E, and you don't really know where 1 is. And even with the drums I have, hi-hats hitting all those 16th notes, kick, snare, kick, snare. So the kick's on 1 and 3, and the snare's on 2 and 4, but we don't know which. So if you can do this, how's the balance between the drums and the guitar? Can you hear both? Because I can change the mix. Again, that's this one here I'm playing. See, I'm just squeezing. It doesn't even look like I'm doing it. You can't even see my hand hardly move. You can even just practice that. Looks like my hand is a heart and it's beating on its own. Kind of is. You want to have fun. Add that 13th up there if you want to go to the next level. No one's typing, that's good. That always tells me, if there's no chat going on, it tells me everybody's got a guitar in their hand and doing what I'm telling them to do. Okay. Okay, so now I'm gonna put this one aside for a second. All right? I'm gonna make it small. I'm gonna put it aside. I'll put it up there. Because the next one has the squeeze on the and of two. See that? So you see this first one here? See, on the and of the beat. See that? Chugga, 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 bum, chugga. You'll hear it in a second, okay? But look at this. You got two X's, a chord squeeze, and another X. Again, when we notate 16th notes, we always do them in groupings of 4. And there's a reason for that. Technically, you can join all of those notes together. So you could have double stems, or double bars going across all 16 notes, but it's much easier to read music if you break things up into basically the beats. We're in 4/4, so we're breaking them up into 4 quarter notes, just like the meter is. Okay, so this one down here sounds like this. So sorry, almost like a reggae. Check this out. Against the beat. Let me make this one a little smaller. There's our beat. I almost want to go to a minor. Like an A minor chord. So in slow motion, it's 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a... Yeah, no right hand muting. It's all happening here, Joseph. Good question. That's a very good question. Yeah, that's a different thing. I'll palm mute if I want to kind of have muted single notes. Okay, but we're doing big old chords, so we want to. The muting's going to happen over here, and we really wouldn't generally use open chords. That's where bar chords come in really handy. It's kind of one of the things that's idiomatic for bar chords. It's one of the things that bar chords can do that open chords can't do, and that is you can kind of mute everything else. See, I can squeeze this, but I'm still going to get all those open strings ringing out. Okay, so this is 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. Notice I'm accenting the and when I'm talking. 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. And again, if you walked into the middle of this and didn't know where it was, you would assume 1 E and a 2 E and a, you would assume that the squeeze, the chord was happening on downbeats 1, 2, 3, and 4. But in that would be out of context. If you were just to walk into the room in the middle of me playing it, or if I dropped the needle on the record, you wouldn't really know where 1 was if that was the only thing playing. If there was a drum playing, dang it, here we go, if there's a drum playing, you'd be much easier to find where 1 is. 1. 1. Okay, but let me slow it down again so we get work on this at a slower tempo. 1 E and 2 E. Oh, we can go back to E9. Thanks, Bruce. Yeah, and you don't want to lift your fingers off the strings. You want to leave your fingers on the strings. That's how you create that dead sound. That's why you practice doing this, to make sure that you can get that dead tone. Again, just to reiterate, I have to leave. I have to leave at 9:45. So we're only going 45 minutes today. I have to go to a funeral. A friend of mine, his wife passed away, sadly. So I pay our respects. Okay, so one E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E. If you can count with me, that's bonus. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and if I stop counting, you'll start hearing that as a 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and the mind plays tricks on you. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Let's go ahead. Let's try doing it at 70 BPM. You know, I can lower this to 60. Let's go to 60. That's a nice round number. Sometimes, for me, it's harder to play when some stuff is harder to play slow. Let's get that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 E, 2 E, 3 E, 4 E, 1 E. Very common reggae groove. Now, Joseph, if I were doing a heavy metal thing, I might use the palm mute. But I don't know how many dead, you know, if I did like, oh, it's a movie. I'm doing both. Because I'm muting the hit, so I'm palm muting and I'm lifting my fingers up. And I'd have to pull up a different sound to get that. One of the things about doing that kind of thing through an amp with lots of distortion is you get this kind of really kind of cool. The tubes like go woo, and then they suck down. You can kind of like the software doesn't quite do it. It's getting really good at that, creating that tube sound, that tube feel. It's even more amazing when you're in the room with a Marshall stack and you do that. It's like you feel like a god. And you get that boom, 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 boom. It just sounds so good. But there's a certain like compression and delay almost. It's a billionth of a millisecond delay, but you can sense it. But we're doing a clean sound here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm playing that first groove right here, just this one bar. That again, the repeat sign just sending me back and forth. 1, 3, 4, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 3 and 3 E and 4 E. All right. Hey, Sam's in the house. Where? All right. Pretty groovy, man. All right, so we're going to go back. I'm going to put this one back where I got it from. Here, over here. If I can squeeze it. Okay. And we're going to go back to that first one because, so what I did was, if you look at these grooves here, I did downbeat here, and then I did the next 16th note, and then I did the next 16th note, which is the 8th on the and of the beat, and then I did the next 16th. So I kind of, the pattern, I went on down on one, or on the downbeat, on the E's, on the ands, and on the the uhs. So this is on the downbeats. This is on the E's. The other one was on the ands, right over here that I just moved. So this is now we're squeezing the guitar on an upstroke. Okay, so maybe here's what this one sounds like. So now we're on the second groove here. You can start with the dead notes. 60 beats BPM is what I'm playing to. 3, 4, 1, 2. Hey, Leah. One E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a. Now, just a little on the side here. Okay, this is hard. We're gonna slow this way down and see if you can get this. It does take a second to get, but if I did the E and the okay, so if I squeezed, I squoze. If I squoze on the E and the that's 5-year-old me talking. I tried to convince my mom that I don't think it was squoze, it was something else, but I thought squoze was a word. I'm like, no, Mom, squoze is a word. She's like, no, it's squeezed. And I'm like, I died on that hill. Okay, so if I do both the E and the it sounds like this. That's ska. Okay, we had reggae, which is a little more chill, right? Reggae is kind of a slower tempo. You know, we're smoking a lot of weed. We're sitting in the sun on the beach. You know, it's, you know, why play fast? Ska, on the other hand, is a bunch of hopped up Orange County punks. I don't know. Ska has its origins. England, I think, is where ska came from. So they were probably just. I remember ska stuff in the 80s. I remember dancing to it and sweating, and it was a great workout. At this tempo, not going to sound too much like ska if I do all the upstrokes. I'm squeezing on all the up hits. Could also sound like it could almost sound like a country thing too, but that is what's happening there. So in ska they're playing. It sounds like he's going down, 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 down. It's the exact same rhythm, except where it's happening, you really need to do it with an upstroke so you can keep track of where one is. Okay, if I played. Ooh, that's hard. At this tempo, it's not impossible. At a faster tempo, it would be really hard, I think, to play on the E and the with downstroke. Totally can be done. I'm sure there's players that do it that way. But it feels super duper natural with upstrokes. Okay, so we're doing this groove here. We're playing on the E of each beat. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and you can say that with me. Yes, the middle finger is kind of, or my thumb is muting the low E, and yeah, I'm kind of muting it with my thumb. You know, if you can't do that, you can totally. I mean, you want to be able to get a good mute sound, so you can practice just doing that. That was the first thing we did. And 2 E and 3 E and slowing it down. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E. So say this with me. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and that's where the beat. That's where we're going to squeeze. We're going to squeeze on that E. So it sounds like this. Is really slow. Yeah, exactly. That was my point as a 5-year-old, Sam. So, And you're gonna unsqueeze, you're gonna unsquoze it, but before you hit that downstroke on the and, okay? It's just a stab. You can think of it almost, I like to think of it kind of like as a horn section, right? Bop, 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 bop. It's kind of it gives me horn section vibes. You know, you got here maybe the trombones here, and then maybe you've got the tenor sax here, or the baritones. Yeah, so probably be the trombone here, tenor, alto, and trumpet. Maybe those 4 instruments, something like that. That would be a big horn section, but yeah, baritone sax, not, I don't know, that happens, but okay, so 1 E, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and I think I could do this for 15 minutes, just until you could all get it. Maybe give me a thumbs up if you got it, or a heart. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E. Okay, with the drums, you can start with the 16th note muted. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and oh, all right. We're going somewhere with this. We're not going to get there today. Okay, so far we've done the downbeat. We've done the downbeat. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We've done the and of the beat, which sounds like reggae. Okay, and now we've done the E of the beat. David Sillers. All right, now let's go to, for the last one, I'm going to put this back. Put this back up here. I want to do this. I'm going like this. We're going to do the, for today, this is good because I have to stop at 9:45. I got to, like I said, I got to go to a funeral for the wife of a friend. I mean, yeah, for the wife of a friend of mine. I mean, I knew her too, of course. Okay, so now with this last one here, right here, boop, we have the 16th note on the or we have the squeeze on the of the beat. Okay, so it's 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and and it's kind of a great feel actually because it's kind of this anticipatory hit that might, you know, you got the kick and the snare on 2 and 4, so you got the super duper solid heavy duty kick, you know, kick, snare, kick, snare, 1 E and E and E and 4 E and so we're gonna be going in there. This is what it sounds like. So I'm squeezing on the upstroke right before the downbeat. And if you get this down and you got those other three down, then you've basically mastered the ability to play on any of the 4/16th note pulses in a 4/4 bar. And so that's actually, believe it or not, it's going to pay dividends on lots of things, and it will pay dividends on the stuff that's coming after this. Okay, so let's go. Let's do this again here. Let me take a big swig. All right. Oh, you know what? Sorry, we got to go slow. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2. Down, up, 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 down. Like I said, I could probably do this for an hour and you would love it. But like, without the drums, you don't really know where that squeeze is. It could be on the downbeat. If you just tuned in, you could think this is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's hard to do, man. But it's really 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Practice your dead, just all dead notes here. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E. And we're not even talking about swinging. I could put a little swing. Check this out. See, I'm swinging it now. This I'm trying to kind of be really square. Okay, now just to give you a heads up, I'm gonna review these next week. I think I'm here next week. I'm pretty sure I'm here next week. Let's see. So we'll review all of this. Okay, so don't worry about it. But you can watch this and maybe loop the part that, you know, I'm just going really slow or whatever. But ultimately what we're going to try to get to is something like this, where we're going to be playing a pattern, and we're going to have, in this case, we're alternating down, up, down, up, down, up, with the squeeze on the down. So this first one here, again, look at the repeat sign. So it's this first bar, the first 16 notes. Thank you, Bob. This one. But what's cool about that, that's a good foundational thing. If I speed it up, it's like. So I'm playing, squeezing on 1, or on the downbeat, 1, and E, 4. 1, and E, 4. So I'm actually squeezing at different moments on every one of those different options. The 1, or the downbeat, the E, the and the and. All 4 of them are getting getting a shot here. The cool thing, check this out. So I could do a double hit on each of these. So I would do 1 and 2. So this would sound like this. So sorry. So what I'm doing is I'm squeezing for the length of 2 strokes on my right hand. You've heard that before. I could do it with just one of them. So let me just do it to beat the very first one. Oh, sorry. I could just do it to the second beat, or the second hit. Basically, there's so many options. I could do it to 1 and I could do it to the end of 2. So it'd be sound like this. Again, think of it almost like you're a horn section. Ba-da-bap, ba-da-bap, bap, ba-da. You can kind of hear that, all right? I can do this. This is really cool too. I can play long. So I can hit where I hit let it ring and miss the strings. So I'm not doing hits. I could do all three hits. So I could do, right? I could do 2. I already did that one. I could do 3. Or I could just hold it. And oftentimes, that would come with the 13th chord. See, it almost, when you start doing the math, and again, I haven't even moved that 16th note over. The next one right here, I'm moving all of those hits over 1 16th note. Okay? So this one sounds like this. The other one sounds like this. The next one sounds like this. So against the beat, although this is pretty slow, sounds like this. Yeah, right? Totally. Thank you, Bruce. All right, so I'm signing out. I will see you guys next Monday, and we will pick up on this. For me, this is a lot of fun teaching. I hope it's not too over your head. I'll try to always bring it back to the basics, and I'll also always try to slow it down for you so you can rewind that part of the video. I wish I could do it for 15 minutes on each one of those. Maybe that would be a good video to do. But yeah, I need to do some videos. I haven't done anything in a long time. I'm kind of conceptualizing my school thing, so that may take precedence. But anyway, we'll talk soon.